partner on her Instagram story. Kourtney's post captioned these two photos of herself with, quote, studying at He's All That Movie. And then the movie's Instagram account shared this post on their story announcing, quote, introducing Jessica Miles Torres. Kourtney has acted before. In 2011, she made her acting debut on the TV soap opera One Life to Live, where she played Cassandra Kadanoff. And she also is credited as playing herself in an episode of Dave, according to IMDb.
Before we even talk about Kourtney Kardashian, I have a hypothetical question for you both.
Mm-hmm.
A lot has been talked about this movie and Addison Rae acting in this role, her first starring role. What if the film is a big flop? Is that a bad reflection on her?
I don't know. Jacqueline, what do you think about this?
I honestly, a year ago, would say, yes, it could be a big flop, but we're all at home with nothing to watch. So I feel like that's not going to be a possibility. Even if it sucks, we're all going to watch it. I feel like Addison is playing herself. She's playing a social media influencer. So this movie is like a reality show, to be honest. I feel like there's no acting involved. I mean, Perez, I know you went to NYU for acting, and Gabby, you went to Emerson. I have a BFA in acting, and I don't know, Addison was just on the Zane and Heath podcast saying she studied acting for 10 months. So that's like the
That's
same.
something.
Yeah, that is something. I mean, I definitely studied at Stella Adler for 2 years, but, not to like try to one up her with that. Although, yeah.
Jacqueline did bring up a good point. Even though an alleged vaccine for Americans is on the not too far distant future, we are probably not going to be returning to theaters like we used to at all in 2021. So as Jacqueline mentioned, this will most likely be a simultaneous release in theaters, whichever ones are open, and at home. I guess if it's not that expensive, people might watch it. They can't do like a Mulan $30 on Disney Plus situation for He's All That. And then before we get to even Kourtney, her acting abilities or anything about that, if the producers are watching us right now, and we know they are.
Yes, of course.
I had a thought. As an actor myself and a member of SAG, there's a lot of talk about authenticity and, like gay actors should hopefully, ideally be playing gay parts. Mm-hmm. In fact, Wentworth Miller from Prison Break said recently that he's no longer going to be acting in anything other than gay parts. And that's really what he wants to focus on. Reading the name of Kourtney's character, it's apparent that she's going to be playing a Latina. However, she's not, but maybe she married a Latino, so she could be the missus to a Latino. So they need to specify that in the script, They should.
I hope they do.
Let's just cut to the chase now after that long preamble. Is Kourtney going to suck in this?
I don't know, but here's the thing. I thought that going into this, when I saw that Addison was the one influencer in the movie and all the producers are the original producers, original writers, an amazing director who directed Mean Girls. I mean, we have she's in good hands. And then all of her co-stars are all other actors who have proven themselves. Tanner Buchanan as her romantic lead in Cobra Kai. But then you add Kourtney to the mix and it's like, oh no, are they going in this direction where they're going to add, more people who are less actors like Addison and releasing that later? Like, is Bryce Hall going to make a cameo?
Oh
is
God,
Charlie
I hope
D'Amelio
not.
going to make a cameo? And then that to me feels like, that feels like the Entourage movie to me, where there's just way too many cameos and it's like, what is this movie about? And it's definitely not as good as the series.
Well, they've tried that a bunch of times in the past. They've stuck influencers in many movies and they haven't always worked. I remember infamously Logan Paul released some awful movie filled with influencers and nobody even remembers it. I don't know. I'm excited. And I think it's smart of Kourtney to already be thinking ahead because the reality, actually, I'll share some scoop.
Okay.
The reality show is over for now.
Mm-hmm.
But my sources tell me that it's not the end of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. The big block, the big disagreement that Kris Jenner, who I'm wearing on my ugly sweater, not so ugly sweater, the big disagreement that she had with Comcast, Universal, NBC, the network that would run the Keeping Up show, is Kris and family wanted to own the show, and they did not want to give them ownership. So now they're shopping around some other version of their life in reality where the Kardashian Jenners own it, and that would make them even more money. And if they do that, which is smart, I think they've still got such a huge fan base. It needs to be in real time. I don't want to wait 6 months to find out something on the show that we already heard last fall, you know?
I think Keeping Up with Addison is what we're going to be seeing.
I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if they signed her to a deal. Like, their relationship definitely feels like it's more than just a friend relationship. There has to be some kind of business arrangements going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think Addison actually captioned the photo when she shared it, like, work wife. Like, she calls Kourtney her work wife. Like, we know they're working on things and not just Kourtney's cameo in the movie. Like, they definitely have
I feel
a
like
working
friendship. This entire summer was a preview for He's All That. Now we know Addison was just giving Kourtney acting lessons this summer. It's fine.
She was taking what she had just learned from her acting class and sharing it to Kourtney.
She was like,
and actually, even if Kourtney is bad, that wouldn't be bad. Like, it'd be kind of funny if she sucked. Like, she kind of has nothing to lose.
And I feel like she's always playing. I didn't see her cameo in One Life to Live, but it sounds like that character, just based on the name, was a version of herself. So something tells me that this character, even though I guess is not proper with the ethnicity in the background, that perhaps it is also a version of a Kardashian. That could be possible too.
Do you guys think Kim and Khloe are going to make cameos also?
I don't think they have that relationship that Addison has with Kourtney. I know that they are friendly and they obviously have been in the same room together and have hung out together. But I really do feel like there's a very strong bond between Kourtney and Addison where, I mean, I wonder, do you think, I mean, our title of this video right now is, you know, Addison Rae paid Kourtney Kardashian to be in her movie, ? We're not saying that actually happened, but we're raising that question. Like, do we think that Addison was the reason why Kourtney is in this movie? Do you think she like asked the producers, or do you think that they asked?
I think the producers probably asked. They thought it would be a fun thing to have. And actually, now that I think about it, maybe Bryce Hall will be in the movie as well. But I'm curious, since you are both not a guy like myself, have either of you bought anything from Poosh, Kourtney's website? Does she sell stuff?
She sells stuff. Well, you know, I'm her target audience. I'm a big gooper.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I do all the recipes on Goop. I love what she puts out on Goop. So I love Gwyneth Paltrow.
I know.
So I should be someone who buys things on Poosh, but no, I never have.
Why?
I don't, because it just seems too confusing. I mean, this sounds really old. Like, I don't know. What am I buying on the website? You know, everything on Goop is free to my, like,
it is?
The recipes are all free. Poosh, I think she charges for, like, you have to pay a subscription.
No, but Goop sells stuff too.
Oh yeah, I've never bought
Goop is way too expensive.
Just the recipes.
I just use the recipes.
Interesting.
Jacqueline, how about you?
I actually just posted a Poosh smoothie on my TikTok, and that is something that is more valuable than anything you could find on the Poosh website, guys.
Well, there you go. Although I will say, back to Bryce Hall possibly being in this, let's not forget. So Addison Rae is playing the role that Freddie Prinze Jr. originated in the 1999 movie. Freddie Prinze Jr. is married to Sarah Michelle Gellar, who he was dating at the time that they filmed the movie. Sarah Michelle Gellar made a cameo, not as a romantic interest. So, you know, if Addison Rae is playing Freddie Prinze Jr.'s role, wouldn't it make sense that Bryce Hall also makes a cameo?
Does Bryce Hall want to be an actor?
I mean, he seems like he likes being in front of the camera.
Yeah,
well,
I feel
Josh Richards, who's also one of those sway boys, if you look at his bio on social media, it says that he's an actor.
Oh.
That's what his bio says,
well, he's
actor.
more of a businessman at this point. So that doesn't, that's interesting. Jacqueline,
I
what do you
feel
think?
like Bryce would honestly put himself in anything that Addison is doing. I feel like their power has shifted, and now Addison is like the shining star. Also, I feel like she needs to start dating Tanner after this is done. Like, she needs to start moving up. Like, we get it. Bryce has happened. Like, there's already pictures of them making out. I'm over it already. Like, I'm done. Like, she needs to step up her game.
But that ship is so hard. The ship of Bryce and Addison, Bradison fans, they are, I mean, they are hanging on. I mean, look at Jelena fans, right? And how they're still hanging on, even though Justin has clearly moved on and they're even harassing Haley on Instagram. I mean, these Bradison shippers, not to say they're that vicious, but something tells me that when Addison moves on.
I would say they're equally divided because a lot of Addison Rae's fans think that she deserves better.
I agree.
You know, just the way he talks about her, he's so possessive, like she's a trophy wife, and he focuses just on her looks mainly. And I don't like him.
I don't like it.
That's my opinion.
If she's happy, I'm happy for them, but I also agree that she can date up, and her and Tanner are so cute, even though he has a girlfriend, I heard.
You know, let's just pop in a couple of extra things right now because we're live. Sure. I love that. You mentioned Josh Richards a moment ago, and I noticed something that Josh Richards has done now 2 weeks in a row. Last week, I don't know if you guys paid attention, but Josh Richards and Griffin Johnson of Sway went to visit the homeless to give them blankets. And on paper, that looks good.
Yep.
And it is good. And it's also a marketing thing because Josh is an investor in this blanket company. So we won't mention the blanket line. But this week, Josh Richards did the same thing. He went with Bryce Hall to give out food and energy drinks to the homeless.
Well, you know what food it was?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
Because it's also a marketing thing too.
Well, well, how about this? The type of food it was and the energy drink, the combination of those two things. I don't know about you, but
it was Mexican food.
They would give me an upset stomach, and they're giving these to homeless people. Where are they going to the bathroom?
And it's like, normally I would say, I don't care if a celebrity is only doing good to look good, but come on, bro, space it out. 2 weeks in a row, and it just starting to seem now like you're exploiting the homeless, and that's gross.
And you know, that brand that they brought the food out to also recently partnered with Addison Rae in one of her YouTube videos, and they gave her a skateboard with this brand on it when she did a video with Tony Hawk recently. So that brand is also, it seems like they're trying really hard to get in with that TikTok audience. Jacqueline, do you see both of these things?
I definitely saw the skateboard Tony Hawk thing, and I felt like that was kind of fake and out of left field with Addison. Like, where did that come from? It was cute, but I feel like a lot of these TikTokers are definitely taking advantage of people. Like, even Taylor Holder doing a GoFundMe for them to buy like plates for their empty mansion. Like, what are they doing?
What?
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Yes.
That's a good scoop.
That is a good scoop because Taylor, they do very well, and that's the Triller compound house. We just had Kelly Ann Stankus in here who lives there. She's part of the trio with Taylor Holder and Nate. And that's interesting that is that a joke?
No, they posted a GoFundMe. They were like, we need plates. Like, that's something that honestly, like, a 10-year-old would be like, I want a mansion, and then couldn't think to buy the furniture. And that, I think, is the reason why they shouldn't be going to Saddle Ranch, and they should maybe be going to college. I don't know.
Wow. Well, I will not be donating to that.
Yeah. They recently hosted a Thanksgiving too in that house. So did they use paper plates? I mean, so many questions. Well, that is more sanitary in these times to use paper plates and disposable utensils.
And I'm here for everyone, like, donating to charity. And I think feeding the homeless is amazing, and anything that they can do is great. But it's starting to be a little transparent, like, not here for it.
Well, yeah, and especially when you align brands, right? Especially when the story isn't just they are helping out the homeless. The story is they're helping out the homeless with insert brand.
Yeah,
here.
And mentioning the brand in the headline. I saw that on people.com. It's like, they probably paid people.com to do that story too.
Yeah,
that is
interesting.
I can't reveal all my secrets, but
yes, you can.
If any of the Sway guys are watching now, there was all this controversy a few days ago that Sway might have been over. Did you pay attention to that?
Oh, yes, I paid attention to that.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're still together for now. But my advice to them all is it is time to not break up Sway, keep that going at all costs.
Mhm.
But it's time for them to each find individual managers
Right.
because they're all managed by the same people.
Mhm.
And I think that ultimately doesn't serve each and every one of them. Like if they're like the same person basically, and they have the same manager. And if you have one manager and you're the only type for that manager, they're going to hustle harder for you and be able to get you more opportunities than one manager that manages you and 9 other people just like you.
Well, and that's true also. I mean, I have a manager, and I know that managers out here in Los Angeles, they tend to not rep so many of the same person. So like they will have like, okay, that's their comedic host or whatever. That's their author. That's like whatever. They kind of are more widespread with that. Yeah. And the talent group, Talent X, is actually co-founded by Josh Richards.
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know, guys. What do you think about this? About Kourtney Kardashian being in Addison Rae's movie? Are you still excited for this movie, or does that make you less excited? Let us know your thoughts. I'm Gabby Conti.
I'm Jacqueline Marfuji.
And I'm Perez Hilton.
And follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news. Bye.